Devin, it's good to have you here. Coinbase crypto, this should be something that, maybe people can go to as a hedge in market sell-offs like this, although I don't think that's its primary use case at all. But tell me why you think that this is a name that maybe people should consider picking up on the dips here.
Yeah. Hi, Kelly. I guess first off, I would just say there's not many companies that I can think of that have 70 million verified users or generating $7 billion in revenues and have a $60 billion market cap and are probably in their first or second inning. So, I think we're early days of kind of the crypto economy developing. Coinbase is clearly a leader in the development. I think is going to play a key role in the ongoing development here. And so 85% of revenues today are from transactions and trading. Over time, as they build out some of these other subscription services and other services, I think that probably goes down to half. And so you get a re-rating in the valuation multiple as the revenue mix improves, but also I see huge growth here over the next handful of years.
They just announced direct deposit, but I think regulatory scrutiny remains the near-term mover of this name. And if they come out against stablecoins in a big way, there could be more downside for a name like Coinbase, right? I mean, is this a place you think people should wait for the shakeout if they want to accumulate it?
I would say if you're looking at technology stocks and potentially disruptive technology stocks, it's always difficult to time exactly when they're going to move. Clearly, there's a lot of considerations here on both sides, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Your regulatory risk is one of the biggest risks and uncertainties for Coinbase. On the other side, as I just talked about, they are in their very early days of kind of innovation and growth. And so you're paying, a valuation multiple that in our opinion is already contemplating that. You're paying 7 times revenues on 2022 estimates. Many of the leading brand fintech platforms trade in the mid-teens or higher. And so, if you believe that the crypto economy is going to continue to develop, that the regulatory landscape will get figured out. And I would argue, regulators looking at it and looking to add protections is a really good thing. And, Coinbase is a leading firm to work with them. And so it's not going to be on a linear path, but, it kind of validates the future of the crypto space, in my opinion, that regulators want to make sure they understand this and get it right. And so Coinbase is going to be a leader there. And we did an analogy to Coinbase and Amazon, 20 years ago as they built out, AWS. And I think Coinbase is talking about becoming the Amazon of assets. Really interesting analogy here because there's just tremendous opportunity as they open up the platform to other outside parties, that some people think are competitors. In reality, I think are going to be partners and clients. And that's, a huge growth story for Coinbase. I think a lot of people are actually missing right now.
Well, that's interesting. You draw the analogy to Amazon. At the time Amazon began, it did one thing, and it basically sold books online. That was its thing. And then it realized that it could do a lot more than that. But at that time, there were very few retail competitors to Amazon. And this area does feel, maybe you're right, and maybe they take their competitors and make them partners. But right now, it feels like a fairly competitive universe. And you got to figure that some of the big players, whether it's Goldman or Morgan Stanley or whomever, are going to get into this business with both feet as well.
Yeah, it's a good point, Tyler. What I would say is that don't underestimate the engineering expertise that Coinbase has assembled and also the mistakes they've made over the last decade. So there's a lot of really well-resourced firms that clearly want to capitalize on the growth that's happening in this space, but they can't just enter with hundreds of expert engineers in crypto. And so that's where, as you think about Amazon, AWS, and you think about Coinbase Cloud, Coinbase is essentially opening up their platform because they're confident that they've solved a lot of the hard issues, they have the resources, and that people are going to want to utilize what they've built. And so firms that, again, I think people are looking at as really potential competitors are in many ways going to become clients, partners. There may be some competitive aspects, but Coinbase has this first mover advantage that I just think you can't underestimate.